Dr. Fisher's with us right now, and we've got a run walk coming up. Doctor, how you doing?
Gentlemen, I'm doing fantastic.
Good to see you again.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to see you both.
It's good to see you, man, especially since of your situation a month ago.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you.
I had a heart event a month ago, and I'm really fortunate to be around. But, it's actually kind of nice to jump on radio to tell your listeners that family history matters.
Yeah.
All of us are potentially sitting on healthcare problems. And I'm usually the one preaching, how to take care of this stuff. So I got to play patient for a little while. I had a catheter, which I wasn't thrilled about.
Yeah.
I didn't get to place my own.
Could you? You think you could place your own?
Sir? Let me take care of that.
I think I could have placed it on my own. Though I did know a guy who tried that once and he passed out.
Yeah, that's.
I've never had a catheter. I've had a stent, but I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, catheters are not fun.
Yeah, well, there is this whole thing, that some folks actually do that for fun, believe it or not.
I can imagine.
That's kind of part of the urologic lore.
Yeah.
Things that you have to pull out of urethras.
Well, we were.
Can I say urethra?
Yeah. We were doing a story the other day where a guy had an itch, and to scratch that itch, he took a phone charger and tried to scratch that itch and got it stuck up around his bladder.
Yeah.
And they had to go in and untie the knot and get it out of there. It's like, why would you use a phone charger to scratch your itch?
Do you want to hear a short list of bizarre things I've removed from urethras?
Like for real?
We got a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's just go, similar to your phone charger was speaker wire. About 6 feet of it.
Monster cable or just regular?
Just regular.
Okay.
Great. Terrific question. Terrific question. Baby carrots. Baby carrots. That was interesting.
More than one.
Yeah, baby carrots. A few of them. See, guys think that they're gonna get down and find their way back out when they urinate, and the opposite is true. They actually migrate into the bladder. So you got to come to me and get them take them out.
Peeled, I hope.
Yeah. Magnetics. Those little children's toys, the round magnet hooks to the rod. So one guy just got a trail of those going.
Just for real.
I can't even imagine somebody thinking about
Public
it.
service announcement for your listeners. This is not something that you should do.
No.
There's no advantage to putting something in your urethra. I just want to make that.
It's kind of like
clear.
when you do the Q-tip in the ear, they always say don't put the Q-tip in the ear; it's just to clean the outside. But
right.
You always kind of put it. But there's really no reason to ever put anything
in the urethra.
Right.
That's right?
Is there?
And the winner, the number one thing that I have fished out of a urethra are roofing staples.
Oh man, roofing staples.
Yeah. Of course, they went in with the V end first.
Well, and I hope they weren't shot in with the roofing staple gun.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah,
That's just crazy. I was talking to a doctor once, and he said if every man lived to be 125, if we all did, we'd die of prostate cancer.
So, prostate cancer is probably the greatest thing to talk about to otherwise healthy men in our community. Certainly the most common cancer in men. 1 in 9 men will get prostate cancer. Thankfully, not most of those men won't die of the disease, but there's still 100,000 or more men in the U.S. dying of prostate cancer every year.
Why is it so common?
It's because it's not really even noticed until it's spread. So when men develop symptoms of prostate cancer, it's really too late to treat it.
Okay.
And so why is it common? It's kind of like asking women, why is breast cancer common?
Okay, right. Okay.
It's the male equivalent of breast cancer. Prostate is a reproductive organ. There are cells and glands within the prostate that help with reproductive cycles, really help kind of get women pregnant. When guys are past pregnancy age, those cells still turn over, still make fluid, but there's not as much place for them to go, so cancer can be more common.
Gotcha.
So is discharging of those cells important?
Boy, wouldn't you wish? I get guys all the time asking me for a prescription of, frequency of discharge. Unfortunately, medically, we can't justify telling a guy can I say ejaculate?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We can't tell a guy that he's got to ejaculate multiple times a week or a day, whatever the case may be. But we get asked on occasion. There's no therapeutic advantage from frequency of sex or frequency of ejaculation. So the biggest risk for prostate cancer is genetics.
So my family history?
Yeah, so
okay.
I have a family history of prostate cancer, and many people do. But when you have that family history, your risk doubles. And thankfully, many men diagnosed with prostate cancer, if they catch it early, they can even wait and watch it and just see if it becomes dangerous. But many men will get treatment early when it's curable.
Gotcha.
And it, nobody likes to go through any sort of treatment for disease that they don't really have symptoms from. But the alternative is so far worse.
Right.
If you catch this early and you can treat it, and if it's kind of a bump in your life's road and you're back to normal, that's way better than dying an early death or suffering from the end stages of this disease.
No We're talking with Dr. Fisher from Granger Medical Summit Urology, and it's Ask a Pro. If you've got a question you'd like to ask the doctor, feel free to call or text in. And Ask a Pro being brought to you by and sponsored by Granger Medical Summit Urology. 801-570-KBER would be the number to call or text your question in. The Zero Prostate Cancer Run Walk is coming up, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if you have info. I'll pass you a couple of things. But our clinic and our group sponsor an annual prostate cancer awareness run walk. It's supported by, we're partnered with a group called Zero Prostate Cancer. So this is a nonprofit charitable organization. We raise money and awareness for prostate cancer for the whole community, but also to talk to prostate cancer victims and their families, to really grab this bull by the horns and do something about it. There are lots of runs out there for any variety of disease, for MS or breast cancer or any other number of stuff. This is the only prostate cancer awareness run in the state. And we also try and make it a family event. Like I told you, my family history, so my whole family gets involved. Grandparents come out. There's stuff to do there for kids. It's a run walk at 5K. So you can run it, you can walk it, you could crawl it, you could just come and be a part of the event. And it's a terrific Saturday. It's really great to be involved with. Those who take it to the next level do fundraising, involve their coworkers, and otherwise nobody loses in this event. All the proceeds really go to our local awareness campaigns, national awareness campaigns, as well as helping men who have prostate cancer and their families grapple with this disease, deal with it, and get the treatment and help that they need.
And this will be on Saturday, June 16th at Wheeler Historic Farms, 6351 South 9th East. It's going to be Father's Day weekend. Again, Saturday, June 16th, 9 a.m. is when it gets started. You can register online. And if you go to Granger Medical Clinic, Summit Urology, you can get details also.
Yeah, and the website there is zerorunslc.com.
Perfect.
And we'll start getting the word out to everybody around. But you can't go wrong with this event. It's something I've been absolutely passionate about for the last decade or so. And we have a great team of people that are involved, a number of awesome sponsors. And so, yeah, sure. Anybody out there with a business that wants to get involved with men's health, or if you're a prostate cancer survivor and say, hey, that's for me, then give us a ring. Let's do this thing. Let's get on top of it.
You know, should people, do we get checked for prostate cancer when we go to our family doctor, or should we make appointments with a urologist?
Great question. Either or. But you should, anybody seeing a physician. So let's back up a little bit. When should guys get checked, for starters? So typically you want to get your first screening for prostate disease at age 40 or age 50. Certainly age 40 if you have a prostate cancer family history. So initial screening at age 40 can be done by a primary care physician or by a urologist. It's kind of pick and choose, I guess, to some extent. We see a number of men who just don't have other health care problems, but they have this family history, so they choose a specialist. They prefer to see a specialist. But if a lot of guys will go to their family doc just to get a checkup and don't mention their prostate. And unfortunately, I think there are a lot of docs out there that don't want to do a prostate exam, so they're kind of happy to ignore it, and that perpetuates some of the problems. So voice concern. If you have a family history, certainly voice that. And the recommendations are all men get a screening at age 50, men at risk get a screening at age 40. Many organizations are telling men in their well checks to get initial screening at age 40.
Gotcha. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Doctor. Again, we'll put this up on our websites also, and make sure we try to get some people out to this. And again, that's the Zero Prostate Cancer Run Walk on June 16th. Mark that down on your calendars.
Yeah, it's Father's Day weekend, right? So
Yeah.
this is a Do It for Dad campaign, just really trying to make it a family event. This is not something that you just wave goodbye to your wife in the morning and, hey, I'm going to go, hang with a bunch of guys. It ought to be the women who are getting their families more involved, and a great thing to honor fathers on Father's Day. I mean, this will be a terrific thing for the families to take advantage of it. Be there with, all these old guys, they don't want to talk about any disease that they've dealt with, but it's such a common and prevalent disease. To have family members of men who've had prostate cancer honor the guys who've gone through this and their spouses who've given them care, and then just have a good time while we're there. You'll get a bunch of docs. Our whole clinic will be there. Wear a tie. That's right. There's a crazy tie contest, but you get to wear a tie. It kicks off Father's Day weekend. Beautiful. I can't say enough good about it, guys.
Perfect.
Really
Awesome.
And that's the thing. When people are out having a day like this, enjoying themselves, doing something fun, it's a lot easier to talk about.
Right.
And everybody's talking about it, and then it becomes just a normal thing. And that's what it needs to get to, right?
That's right. Like we started with, my issue was a cardiovascular event that happened a month ago. I was a lucky recipient of first responders who pretty much saved my life.
Wow.
And so we don't like to talk about things more somberly.
Right.
If you
True.
can say that after the fact, let's be proactive and preventive.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank you, Doctor, again, so much. If you need more details, call us up. We've got them all right here.
Okay.
And if you don't have a doctor, we highly recommend and suggest that you get a hold of Granger Medical Clinic Summit Urology. I've been going to Summit Urology all my life. I can't even remember being alive and not going there. So make an appointment and get your prostates checked, man. Do it. Let's make it now on KBER 101.